Are you struggling with natural looking makeup and foundation? Hey guys, Dr. Wilkin, dermatology resident here. Come follow along as I show you a quick makeup look for brunch. And in this video, I'm also going to be answering 2 questions. The first being, what are 3 items I never leave my house without? And the second being, what are some goals I have for myself during my last 6 months of dermatology residency? So I did my skincare already, and I did 4 steps today for this brunch get ready with me. And the first being, no surprise, my CosRx 6 Peptide Skin Booster. This one, such great hydration, amazing peptides in here. And I went in with 2 milky toners today. I went snowboarding yesterday with my friends and had so much fun, but my skin was just feeling a little bit dry from that cold weather. And I went in first with the Tier Milk Skin Milky Toner. This one is a little bit more watery. And to show you guys my CosRx consistency, this is what it looks like. Pretty watery. Great for the first step of hydration after you've washed your face or after you've showered. And then for the Tier one, this one is also pretty watery, but a little bit more of that milky consistency. So if you guys can see here, still pretty watery, just ran down my entire arm really quickly. Sometimes I will use this as my first step instead of using the CosRx one, but today I just decided to use both. And then I went in with my trusty Prequel half and half milky toner. This one is so amazing for hydration. I use it basically every day, twice a day at this point. It's marketed as a fluid moisturizer, which it is, but in my mind, I think about it more as a heavier consistency milky toner, and that's how I like to primarily use it in my routine. And then the sunscreen I went in with today was the Birch Juice Moisturizing Sunscreen. This one is a Korean sunscreen, amazing filters, gives great UVB and UVA protection, and on top of all of that is just so cosmetically elegant and layers great under makeup. So this is the consistency of that sunscreen. I put out a dry skin video recently, get ready with me, and in that one I had used the Elta MD sunscreen, but I think if you're really dry, you might actually prefer this one better over that one. I think this one just is a little bit more moisturizing, like most Korean sunscreens are. And after going in with my skincare today, I did let my skincare dry down for at least 10 minutes before now moving on into makeup. And for my primer today, I went in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. This one, just so great for all day, keeping your face nice and primed for makeup and keeping it matte also. And it's not overly drying like some other matte primers I've tried before. If you can see here, this is the consistency of it. It's pretty sticky, pretty tacky, which is actually great for the primer that you want to use. And I'm also going to be placing my hair clips in. All right, so more of that primer. And I'm really just trying to focus it more on my oily areas, but I do like to put a little bit everywhere. And the foundation I'm going to use today is the Natasha Denona HY Glam Foundation. This one, it's so great for dry skin, normal skin. I'm oily and I find it works well for myself too. It does give a very dewy finish at first, but I find that it's pretty long lasting throughout the day. I do set it with powder and setting spray as well. 1 pump of that Natasha Denona HY Glam Foundation. Grab a little bit using my flat foundation brush. And then I'm just going to do a light thin layer on my skin. And really focusing that foundation more on the center of my face. And I'm gonna grab my clean cushion puff and then just tap it out. A little bit more to now that other side. Cushion puff and go ahead and blend it. A little bit on my forehead. And I'm actually going to grab a little bit more of that foundation today. Maybe another half a pump onto the back of my hand. Grab a little bit and it'll go on my nose next. And then lastly, gonna put a little bit on my neck also. Alright, so that's it for foundation today. Looking nice and pretty blended right now. And now I just want to share with you all 3 items that I basically never leave my house without. Almost never. And if you're a true friend, you know which 3 items I'm about to mention. So the first item is one of these Aquaphor lip ointments. So I love these. I love the CeraVe healing ointment, plain old Vaseline, any type of ointment I love for my lips. Just keeps it so nice and hydrated throughout the day, especially if you work in a job similar to mine where you're talking all day, getting to meet different people and getting to help people. You do talk a lot, and a lot of that saliva and airflow can just lead to more lip dryness throughout the day compared to other areas of our body. And having some sort of ointment just really helps protect my lips from cracking from a lot of talking throughout the day. That was item number 1. Item number 2, in that same vein from talking all day, is one of these Listerine packs. I love using these just to keep my breath fresh throughout the day as I'm talking to different people. It just gives me a little peace of mind throughout the day if I've had a lot of coffee. And then the last item that you'll never see me leave the house without is gonna be one of these Black Tastes by Kirkland. I've been buying this for years now, and I literally purchased the max amount, which is usually like 5 when they go on sale. I just like to carry these around because I love dairy products. I love like ice cream and cheese, and I just like having one of these so I don't feel too limited with what I can eat if I'm out with friends and whatnot. So those are the 3 items you'll never see me leave the house without. And I'm gonna now move on into my concealer, and I'm gonna be mixing 2 Natasha Denona HY Glam concealers together. This one is shade N6, and then this one is the color corrector. Instead of going in with the color corrector first, I'm just gonna add actually a tiny bit concealer on the back of my hand and then just mix those. So here you can see the 2 swipes that I've added. The one on the right is gonna be more of that N6, and then the left is that color corrector, which has more of an orangey, supposed to be a peachy shade, which will just help brighten the area. And because I'm gonna mix the 2 shades together, I'm gonna grab a Jessup Mo 17 brush, which is like one of a more flat end ones. And then I'm gonna dip into these and mix them together. Just grab a little bit of both and do one little swipe along my under eyes. And then another one here. Mixing the 2, and then any other areas where I like to put concealer. Everyone's skin tone is different, and when using a color corrector, what may work for me may not work for you. Just something to keep in mind, depending on how light or how deep your skin color is, that can affect what type of color corrector you might need, if you need one at all, for concealer. And next, I'm going to grab, let's try this brush by Jessup also, the 142 concealer brush. I'm just gonna blend out the concealer. Little tapping motions today. I find for myself that I prefer concealers that are a little bit creamier. When they're too watery, I find that sometimes they, for me at least, seem to separate a little bit more, or they just don't seem to be as long lasting. Of course, I haven't tried too many concealers, but from the ones I've tried so far, that's just been my experience. What's your experience? I'd be really curious to find out if you have tried a lot of different concealers, or just from the ones you've tried, what type of concealer seems to work better for you? Leave a comment down below. What's your holy grail concealer? And also, do you prefer creamier concealers, or do you prefer more thinner, watery ones? Alright, so all done with concealer today. I basically did do a tapping motion for the majority of the concealer. There was one area under my left eye where it just did have still does have just a tiny bit of like patchiness, not a lot, but just a hint of it. And so I did a little bit of swiping, seemed to help a little bit, but still have a little bit of that patchiness, but not a big deal, very little. I don't think you could really notice it unless you were like right up in my face. So I'm all done with concealer. Now let's go ahead and set our base makeup. And to set our base makeup, I'm just gonna grab this Jessup Mo 10 brush. It's an eyeshadow fluffy brush, but we'll use it today to set our base makeup. I'm gonna grab the Makeup by Mario Surreal Setting Powder in the shade 1, which is Fair Pink. Love this shade for myself. Really helps to brighten and also mattify areas. This is a great powder for dry skin as well. So what I did was swirl, tap off the excess, grabbed a little too much, so in my palm just swirled a little bit, and then I'm going to tap in the areas where I want to set. Grab a little more, swirl, tap off the excess. Alright, our base makeup has been set. And for today's bronzer, we're going to use the CL Sculpt and Protect Sculpting Stick in SPF 30 and shade 2, which is medium. I know I almost always will grab the brush and grab it directly and then apply it to my skin, but today I'm just gonna, I feel like drawing it. So I'm like almost like the lightest pressure right now. And then next, let's grab this fluffy Sigma Soft Blend 60 brush, this one. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and tap out this bronzer. Alright, so we're all done with bronzer for today. Next, we're gonna move on into blush. And the blush I wanna use today is this Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush in the shade Jam, which is kind of a strong color today. Let me show you guys. I actually haven't tried this Jam color yet. It was part of the holiday gift set. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this powder blush brush by Sigma, go into here, put it onto the back of my brush, and go on the back of my hand, stamp it out to see the color I would get. It's really pretty. And this is also gonna help just evenly distribute it. So then I'm gonna start going in. Oh, I really like that. Let's see. Buildable too. What I'm gonna do is just grab my cushion puff and just lightly blend out those edges. The color is just a little bit stronger than I like it too, so tap right on top of it too. This is the same cushion puff that I had used for my foundation, so it has a little bit of that foundation on here. So it's just going to just mute the color just a tiny bit, but I think it's so pretty at this point. Love it. Okay, so our blush at this point is good. And let's see, let's go ahead and move on into our brow. I'm gonna use this brown black one by Kosas and just fill in kind of the ends. Really happy with that. Gonna grab the spoolie on the other end and just brush my hairs up. And now that everything's nice and brushed up, let's go ahead and just use my L'Oreal 24-hour brow lamination product. And then here I'm just gonna brush up my eyebrow hairs. Pretty, I like it. And then next we're gonna move on into our eyeshadow. And for eyeshadow, I'm gonna be using this Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palette. So this one, this Y2 shade. Natasha Denona's eyeshadows are really pigmented and they blend super easily. So just try to grab a little. I'm actually gonna go into my palm and just tap it in a little bit and then go into my eye. And then next, using that same fluffy brush, I'm gonna grab Y3, this guy. Tap, tap, tap. And this is just gonna go at the very bottom towards the edge. Using whatever's left now on my brush, just sweep it along that lower part, the aegyosal. Very simple. Go ahead and do my lips. So I'm going to use this Makeup by Mario lip liner in tan. And then I'm going to just very minimally line my lips. Just like that. Grab the other end now with the little brush and just blend it out towards the center. Supposedly using lip liner will make your lip products, whatever you use afterwards, last longer. I'm really new to lip lining, so I can't agree or disagree with that yet, but I'm trying to incorporate it more so I can really see if that works for myself. My lip today is gonna be my trusty e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. Love this product, been using it a lot recently. Alright, so here is the look. Let me go ahead and now use my setting spray. And the setting spray I'm going to use today is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Shake it up, spray. Next will be my trusty fan. And then to set my makeup, I'm going to go ahead and use the Charlotte Tilbury Finishing Powder in shade Light. Grab a nice little fluffy brush. I'm just going to use the same one I had used for my setting powder earlier. Grab a little bit, tap off the excess, and just go down any areas that I might want to mattify. Okay, so let me take these clips out and I'll be back after I style my hair. Alright, you guys, okay, so here's my final look for today. I'm also going to be answering now my second question, which was, what are some goals I have for myself in the last 6 months of residency that I have left? And it's been a really long journey for me at this point with medicine and with dermatology. I'm coming up on my 8th year now of medical training, if you count my 4 years of medical school, and then now my 4th year of residency, which is my final year of dermatology residency. And so some goals I have for myself are, I passed all of my core board examinations, but at the very end, after we graduate, we can then sit for our applied board exam, which then will qualify us to become a board certified dermatologist. And so I'll be taking that exam in July. So as I gear up for that exam, my goal is to pass the exam, do great on it, and then be done with it, and then start my dermatology career as an attending. And then also, I think personal goals I have for myself are continuing with makeup and not letting any anxieties or fears I have surrounding makeup stop me from creating looks that I feel confident in and that I want to express myself in. And so that's another goal for myself. And then I think my last goal for myself within dermatology is just to continue to study as much as I can in these last 6 months, fill in any remaining gaps I may have in my knowledge before becoming an attending, although I know I'll continue to learn and study even as an attending, but just I think maximize the opportunities I have remaining in residency and just spend as much time as I can with my co-residents too before I wrap up this chapter of my life. And so those are some of my broad goals right now. I'm sure I have more goals that I'm gonna make in these next 6 months, and I can't wait to share more looks and more goals with you all. Thank you all so much for watching. This makeup look was so fun to make for you all today before I go to brunch. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below what you thought of this video. And I can't wait to share more looks with you all. Until next time, bye.